He hasn't shown the red yet, but he has now.
Has to. That could change the game.
That Leo Chu is that's going to be a very bitter pill to swallow.
Welcome everybody to Instant Replay. I'm David Goss, your host for this vacation weekend edition. So don't stress, kick back, relax, and I'll guide you through all of the most controversial calls from a wild weekend of Major League Soccer. Let's start the only place you can with a Cascadia Cup rivalry match between Seattle and Portland. We're in the second half when Leo Chu fights off a defender but takes too long a touch, and as Zach McGraw plays it away, Chu goes flying into the Timbers starter and gets called for a foul and is given a second yellow card by our referee John Freeman. I can understand the complaints from the Seattle side that this is not overly egregious, but Chu comes in at full speed and with a lot of force on an exposed McGraw, so I agree with the call here, a yellow card, and that means Seattle are playing down a man. We head east to check in on a heated Union Red Bull matchup on a Sunday evening. At 1-1, the Union are sticking to their game plan. They go direct to put pressure on the Red Bulls, and Sean Nealis is forced to try and deal with this long ball. After chesting this ball down, Ura touches it past Nealis, and Nealis ever so slightly extends his left arm into an unnatural position and into the path of the ball. Because this handball kills a promising attack, it's also a yellow card, his second of a half, and a red card to Sean Nealis. We head to Cincinnati and get comfortable because we're going to be here for a little while. We start with Sergio Santos getting on the end of a Lucho Acosta through ball in the opening 10 minutes and slotting it past the keeper for the opening goal. But immediately the flag goes up for offside on Santos. This is a tough one. It is down to the inch, but we don't have an angle that shows if he is on or off clearly either way. But we can see that assistant referee Jose Da Silva is in perfect position, and therefore you have to trust the call on the field and stick with offside. Now let's go to the end of the game with FC Cincinnati chasing. They earn a corner kick. As the two teams settle into the box to prepare for the service, all of a sudden, Wilder Cartagena is on the ground holding his face. As we see here on this replay, Aaron Bupenza tries to shrug Cartagena off his arm, and his elbow comes up and makes contact with Cartagena's face. The VAR David Barry recommends a review to Drew Fisher, but after watching on the monitor, Fisher decides to only show a yellow card. In my opinion, Fisher gets this right. While the elbow should never be near an opponent's face, there is no force or malice here to elevate this to violent conduct. But don't think we're done here, because seconds later, Wilder Cartagena puts himself back in the referee's crosshairs. After Drew Fisher correctly calls a foul for this tackle on Santiago Arias, Cartagena comes over and ends up on the ground in the middle of a scuffle. He then stands up into Arias, but when you look at this angle in real time, he does not make contact with his head, only his shoulder into Arias. And while it is a careless thing to do from Cartagena, just like Bupenza's play, in my opinion, it does not rise to the level of a red card offense. Now it's time to watch some FC Dallas and Atlanta United. We start early in this match as we have a bone-crunching tackle in midfield. With both teams going for the loose ball, Iser Iramendi gets there first, and as he hooks the ball back to his teammate, two Atlanta United players make contact with Iramendi. Referee Ismir Pekmic calls a foul and gives a yellow card to Santiago Sosa. Now, in my opinion, that should have been upgraded to a red card. As you can see here from the replay, Sosa's studs are exposed off the ground, and he comes in with a lot of force from a long distance. This should have been a red card on the field or recommended to be reviewed by VAR Daniel Radford. But these teams remained even, and Dallas tried to put this game away late on as they break in transition. Paul Arriola plays it to Marco Farfan, who provides this early ball around the corner that Alan Velasco chases down and eventually serves back in for Farfan to put away. But VAR Daniel Radford recommends a review, and after going to the monitor, Ismir Pekovic called the goal off for offside. And here it is. Velasco was in an offside position on that initial ball across the back line. And because this was the beginning of the attacking phase of play, it wipes off the goal. Good work from our refereeing crew here. Let's head to Quebec for the Nancy Bowl between the Columbus Crew and CF Montreal. The Crew is looking to stretch their lead on the road, and Cucho Hernandez is in a foot race away from goal with George Campbell to try and recover this loose ball. Cucho goes down in a heap and the ball rolls out for a throw-in. Our VAR Alejandro Mariscal recommends for our referee Filip Ducic to head to the monitor. Now this is a tough one, as players going away from goal will always look more innocuous. But if there is illegal contact and it's inside the box, then it has to be a penalty. So we see Cucho gets to the ball first. Then we see the contact. Then we see his feet are inside the box. Therefore, we are headed to the spot and Cucho is able to finish off his hat trick. Let's take a look now at a massive Western Conference 6-pointer for a playoff spot between San Jose and Minnesota United. Midway through the second half, and it's a Pookie party as Timo Pukki fires this ball into the top corner off an Emmanuel Reynoso through ball. That's the connection Minnesota's been waiting for, but will they have to wait a little longer? VAR Michael Radchuk recommends a review to Alexis De Silva, our head referee, and let's do the same. Upon further review, you can see Reynoso uses his arm, which is away from his body in an unnatural position, to handle this ball off of Jackson Yule's touch. Therefore, the correct call is made, and it's no goal. At Yankee Stadium, NYCFC have just taken the lead at home against Vancouver when the Whitecaps striker Brian White puts this dangerous ball into the six to the feet of Ryan Gauld. Gauld is holding off James Sands and goes to the ground as the ball is taken away from him. Pierre-Luc Lazare blows his whistle and points to the spot. The call is a foul on Sands and a penalty kick. Let's take a closer look. As you can see here, Sands' right arm is around Gauld, and as Gauld tries to stop himself, Sands closes his arm around the attacker and drags him down. Now we've established the foul. The other thing we have to look at is the start of the attack, to the contact between White and NYCFC defender Burke Risa. In my opinion, the referee gets this call right too. While White nudges Risa from behind, he does not extend his arms, and it is a legal 50-50 challenge. We head to the spot, and Vancouver equalizes for their third road result in a row. Let's get a little Music City action in here with Charlotte making the short drive over to Nashville. We pick up deep into stoppage time with Charlotte trying to protect a 1-goal lead, and Nathan Byrne makes clear contact with Lucas McNaughton, conceding a penalty kick in the process and leading to an equalizer for Hani Mukhtar. Well, that's all for us here for Labor Day weekend instant replay. Enjoy your holiday, happy refereeing, and as always, in the famous words of Simon Borg, see you next time.